one way while looking the other. Then time unfroze. The boss snapped the compass shut, turned and walked off, and his badges lifted the man up only to drag him off like a beast once more and disappear into the throng. Then everything kicked into action. The cranes hoisting sailboats, the ships loaded with hay and coal, the cotton, so much cotton, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of bales of cotton, the mountains of produce being unloaded, the smell of fresh produce, the smell of rotting produce, the promiscuity of incomprehensible voices, the people bustling here and there, the smell of the people bustling here and there. To the left, dark water specked with lights. Ahead, the dim lights of lamp posts. To the right, the twinkling lights of the city. They let themselves lurch between the stevedores and the men who suddenly began to swarm them, offering things and pointing this way and that. He leaned over to Pepe and shouted into his ear did he have the address. Pepe looked stricken. What was it? What was it? A hotel. Mata had sent word that he'd wait for them at a hotel. A hotel named for a city. Or a state. Or was it a person? Something with a C. Hotel Chicago? He shouted into Pepe's ear. Pepe made squint eyes. Hotel Cleveland? Pepe dubitated. Not dissenting, just dubitating. Hotel Cincinnati, he asked. Though the voices around them were a sea of unnavigable sounds, one of the squawkers accosting them beamed and, face aglow, said, Hotel Cincinnati, and tapped his own chest. Hotel Cincinnati, then gestured for them to follow. He shrugged and said to Pepe, let's go, and the city sucked them up like a sponge. The man walked fast but kept turning back to ensure that he and Pepe were following. After climbing down from the levee and entering the actual city, less congested but more mud, their guide began to walk slower and slower until he stopped entirely, then whistled in no apparent direction, and from the alley emerged a little kid to whom he gave instructions using the universal sign for writing, and the kid took off running. Their guide turned back to them and thumbs-upped in triumph, then walked on once more. They came to a house with a torch over the door. With a majestic flourish, their guide, spent, offered them the narrow square door as if it were the entrance to a palace. Beside it, a strip of cloth read, Hotel Cincinnati. They entered single file. Inside, the boy was still holding a hammer in one hand and a strip of fabric in the other. Behind him was a dark hallway, a rocker, a fireplace around which were arranged several armchairs where 3 sailors sat warming their hands, and an oak table where an austere woman sat, already asking, yeah, what, with her nose. He pulled out the documents he'd shown at customs, but the woman shook an impatient head and thumbed her fingertips in the universal sign of, this is what I'm talking about. So he pulled out some of the money he'd brought in pesos, which the woman assessed for a moment before she nodded, they're legit, took them, and gave an order to the kid who trotted off down the hall. They followed him to an inner courtyard containing nothing but broken chair parts and stacked-up tables, and a door at the back which the kid opened for them. 2 cots, 1 whole chair, a hook to hang clothes on, a pewter basin. The kid pointed to another door on another side of the patio, with any luck, the toilet. The boy gazed at them in silence for a minute, then made the universal sign of welcome to the Hotel Cincinnati, and left. His reception on disembarking from the packet boat had been a foretaste of all that was to come. Waiting, and not knowing words and not being seen, and learning the secret names of things. When it was finally his turn, he had pulled out his papers, but instead of taking them, the bureaucrat supposedly helping him had asked a question or two. Where are you from? Why have you come? What do you do? What is your name? Not all of them, 1 or 2. He decided to reply to them.